they should be elected. We talk politics, policies, we talk governance, we talk what the present administration is doing, what previous administrations had done, and what we should expect ahead of 2027, basically. Today, I'll be speaking with a chieftain of the Labour. You might wonder, why the Labour Party? What exactly is there about the party that we want to talk about? Well, this is the question that I will definitely be asking our guest for today. He is Elder Yusuf Baki from Kaduna State, a member of the Labour Party, who will be giving us his own perspectives on the issues within the party, the issues with the current Nigerian opposition, what he thinks of the ruling party, and strategies that his party will employ to make sure that they phase out or push out the ruling party, not just in Kaduna, but in the whole of the country at the national level ahead of 2020. Welcome on board. This is the New Nigeria Debate. My name is Chioma Innocent. I'm your host for today. Tell a friend to tell a friend that the New Nigeria Debate on Voice of the People 90.3 FM has just... Let's get right into it. Well, one of the latest news from the Labour Party is that of about 6 days ago, when Abure accused Peter Obi, who's left the party for over 6 months now, and of course Governor Alex Otti of Abia State, of being the ones who destabilized the party and then left. He said, look, you poked holes using this ship and then you jumped out, leaving those still in the ship to actually be the ones who will deal with the problems. Well, I'll be speaking with Elder Yusuf Solomon Dambaki today. This is an assertion that he also agrees with. Looking at the current crop of Nigerian opposition, we really need to ask the question, are they moving who are really ready to push out the ruling party come 2027? If you remember the kind of politics that the APC played ahead of the 2015 general elections, the saw former President Goodluck Jonathan leaving the seat and paving the way for late former President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, you will remember that the APC, they were really in their approach. In fact, they were digging for dirt, and they were using this dirt and smearing it on the faces of everyone who was a member of the PDP and Jonathan, who was the PDP president as at that time. We understand that some people feel they want to play clean politics, but others will tell you that there is nothing, absolutely nothing clean about Nigerian politics. And so as a politician, you should be go lower if they go low. You should be willing to dig out things about the opposition to use it against them, to tell the people, oh, this person will not do well for you, or this person is not here to make your life better. In fact, this is what I can better than what this person is offering you. So the current crop of opposition, are they moving in that way, or are they being too soft on the current administration? That they want to employ ahead of 2027, is it enough to counter whatever it is that the APC is doing? We've seen a sharing of rights, we've seen sharing of semovita, raw meats. That's one I can never get, I can't get over it, because I saw videos of people sharing raw meat. The APC has so many movements. They have Relax Limbo is Fixing Nigeria, Women's Wing, the women leaders. They have the City Boy movement. Every other day you see a new movement being inaugurated. Which of these opposition parties can actually boast of having? Although we know that there is the Kwankwasiya movement, that's for Kwankwasiya. We have the Obedient movement for Peter Obi. We have people who call themselves the Articulated. I can't really say been a very strong movement of late, but yes, we know that there are people who gather themselves and say, oh, we are for this person. Wherever he goes, we go. Whatever he does, we will always agree with him. But politics and winning elections is more about strategy than about optimism. Now, your optimism should be backed by what? If you're a Christian, you must have heard it before, that faith without work is dead. So while you are having faith that things will work out for your own good, you should actually be working behind the scenes to ensure that actually really working out. So what is it that the opposition is doing that will tell you right now that these people are really serious about winning in 2027? When we look at, have you seen anybody from opposition parties coming to talk to you in your area to say, oh, you should be working with us, you should be looking at us, you should be looking for us on the ballot papers, coming to educate you on or off the radio, on or off the media, that this is what this candidate has done, this is what, you know, they would do better if you actually elect them. Anyway, I've been able to get through to my guest. I have right now Elder Yusuf Solomon Dambaki from the Labour Party in Kaduna State. He's also the Kaduna Central Senatorial candidate of the Labour Party. Elder, thank you for joining me on the New Nigeria Debate today.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. We do appreciate you. Debate, we'll be talking politics, we'll be talking about your party, we'll be talking about the opposition. All of this is with a view to finding solutions to what we consider the myriad problems of the country. You know, the ruling administration tries to make Nigerians be optimistic about, although they will tell us, oh, things are better. But for many Nigerians, they will say that is not exactly the experience that they have. But of the Labour Party, as at about this time, before the 2023 elections, as at this time in, I believe it was 2022, the Labour Party was all the rage. Right now, you don't really get people talking about the Labour Party very much as a viable opposition. So what is it that has kept you in that party up until now? What is it that has made you believe in the party stronger despite the issues that the party has been facing, both internal crisis, legal issues, and defections?
Good afternoon, Nigerians, once again. Yes, I'm one of those that jumped into Labour Party from the PDP. That will be in 2022, like this, together. Character or virtues, if you like, is contagious. Obi has transferred some of his virtues, and we tend to believe in what he believes, and he gave us hope that it is possible to change. We cannot change Nigeria from the outside. We ought to be players to be able to effect that change. So though he left Labour Party rather, but the spirit is still in some of us that are staying with Labour Party, and we are continuing with the struggle to achieve that change that Peter Obi represented, which is now in some of us. You know, he has succeeded in himself in many Nigerians, and sometimes it doesn't matter the platform, the party, but the goal that he sold to us is what we are all pursuing from different parties. So I remain obedient, though not in the same party, but I remain obedient and I remain resolute to also the welfareism as also a mantra of the Labour Party. Centered and not elite center. If you like, let me quote what Thomas Sankara said. He said, the Burkina we have to choose between champagne for the few or clean water for all. I think I've made my choice. I belong to the candidate of my party, because Labour Party already, why Peter Obi chose Labour, because Labour Party already, why Peter Obi chose Labour Party is because of the ideology that is. Imagine if we all insist that it must be Peter Obi and God takes his life, who do we fall back to? So what I'm saying is that Peter Obi has groomed a lot of people in Nigeria to become like him. And we must continue to look at what he has established and to bring it to pass. I am not going to be against him, but now that I'm in a new party, I will have to go with the leader of my party.
You talk about parties being a vehicle. This party, this vehicle that you're in now, maybe 4 years ago, some would have said that the destination was obvious, it was evident. You believe that this vehicle can still take you to your destination? Does this vehicle still have fuel? Are the engines still working well? Does it still have oil? Is this engine oiled? Is it serviced? Is it good enough to take you where you want to go? I mean, the internal wranglings we've seen within the party in terms of the rating kind of the party falling in the eyes of many Nigerians these days. When you say main opposition parties in Nigeria, the Labour Party might come a distant 7th, 8th, 9th, or even 10th.
Well, I know your sincerely. You know, without Peter Obi, we cannot claim that the driver is as Peter Obi drove us in 2023. But like I said, we have to pick up our pieces and move from somewhere. I tell you, we are his product, we are proud of him, and we are going to make him proud. Where there is need for collaboration, we will collaborate. Where there is no need to go separate ways. But we are not at war. In fact, we are more in peace with Peter Obi than those in the ADC that he left to listen. I think we are moving, and we are going to even make Peter Obi proud at the end of the day.
All right. In the midst of all of this, when the ADC coalition come together, the Labour Party was not a part of it. In fact, they more or less opposed that coalition. Right now that the Labour Party seems to be low on the list of parties in Nigeria, is this not the time for the party to actually try to consolidate and have a coalition with other, what one may consider smaller or lesser known opposition parties in Nigeria, to the formidable force? Now that the Peter Obi that, you know, was the one could call the driver of the party before the last elections, is no longer a member of the party. I mean, we're looking at Sowore's party, the African Action Congress. We're looking at parties like the SDP, are called the APM. Now we have a PDP APM alliance in Oyo State, Ibadan. Would it not be better to try to regain a place of relevance by trying to come together, trying to have a coalition or a merger with other lesser known political parties in order to a better chance of clinching seats at the state, local government, or even at the federal levels in 2027?
Nigeria operates a multi-party system. And we must be seen to be doing that in practice. However, for collaboration at various levels, and I've said that earlier, our doors are open to collaborate with different parties for different. They depend on which
have you approached these parties, or has any party approached you, to the best of your knowledge?
It is not what we can make. But it's a work in progress.
Okay.
But at the right time, you will know that we are not working alone. We are definitely in talking terms with other parties where to go and where not to go.
All right, where to go and not where to and where not to go. Are you not worried that the Labour Party is not exactly top of many Nigerians right now, or is the case different in Kaduna State, where you're from and where you're seeking an elective position?
Well, you know, you said earlier that Atiku come distant 7 or so. Well, the last time I checked, even the yardstick of the last general election, we came third. End of 2027 general election, we remain third until the new result comes to put an end to the old one. Because we by-elections. Because during the by-elections that took place of election season, Labour Party has been in crisis, and our strength has not been. In most cases, we will not be on the ballot. But we will get to the battlefield now, and then our true strength will be measured. You can't make us now until after the general election, because the campaigns have not begun, and you have not seen the generals that we have filled to run the party. When began, then we will know who is who, and the results will show our position.
All right. All right. Now, at the last court judgment, the committee.
Hello.
Can hear you, sir. Elder, can you hear me? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yes. I want to talk about the right. The last court judgment affirmed the Nenadi Usman Caretaker Committee as the rightful leadership.
Oh, no, it's breaking.
Is it better now? Is it better now, sir?
Okay, it's better. I'm hearing you.
All right. I'm talking about the leadership duo. We'll have to end this call and then try to reach out Yusuf Solomon Dambaki one more time. Unfortunately, didn't allowing this conversation to go very smoothly, but we just started. We still have quite a lot of bases to cover. We still want to talk about opposition politicians, if they really say that they want to rescue Nigeria from the quagmire that they consider us to be in. Over 10 years right now of APC leadership. Elder Yusuf, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Thank you. It's much better. I'm talking about the leadership of the party. At the firm, the Senator Nenadi Usman Caretaker Committee as the rightful leadership, but we still see Abure trying to lay claim. What's the Labour Party doing about that, and how do you see that affecting its chances in 2027?
Well, I think that is in our past now. The last judgment was on the 21st, and it was affirmed at the Court of Appeal, and I think. Even those in the Abure faction, if you like, they have laid down their arms. Of them have come to agree and work together with Senator Nenadi Usman. So I think we have moved forward, and we still have a month there about the general election, and the healing is taking place, and it's taking place very fast. I think it's not going to affect us in any way.
All right, it's not going to affect way. Let's talk about grassroots mobilization of the Labour Party. We've not really heard a lot. You see the APC coming up with different movements. The city is fixing Nigeria. You even see people willingly creating movements to try to support whatever it is the APC is doing and the renewed hope agenda of the president. But we've not really like that fight Obi's defection to actually still try to get, even if it is up to half of what they got in 2023.
I'm just giving you an example. One day they took me to a specialist hospital, and then I was amazed by the equipment and few of staff in the hospital. But when I was leaving, I saw that they do not have a signboard, and I asked, why don't you know that people can locate the hospital easily? And the MD said to me that good products sell itself. You don't need any signboard.
Okay.
You see, all this city boy movement is to augment. For the obedient movement was around of the leader, the person of Obi. So we're going to be releasing our leaders very soon, and then people will rally around them of their quality, not any augmenting movement to cover up for shortcomings.
So basically, the Labour Party does not need grassroots. What you're saying, they do not need to remind people of what they will be missing if they don't vote for the Labour Party. Isn't that what a political party is supposed to be doing? Even if you can't be relying on, you actually have to remind people of what it is that you have done and what you can do going forward.
But you need to know that Labour Party is an institutional party in Nigeria, meaning that is a party that is registered by Nigerian Labour Congress and has a membership of fee. So we already have followership from all parts of this country, registered members, the artisans, the Okada men, the KK drivers. So we already have, all we need to do is to wake them up. So, in fact, there is no party whose mobilization as that of Labour Party.
Be a walk in the park. We have the APC. They are currently the ruling party, but they are still moving like the opposition. Shouldn't that be a pointer to what opposition parties like the Labour Party should be doing?
The time has just come for us to do that. We have been working on the ground. For instance, in the e-registration, have registered enough numbers in different states. And
the bill today because he failed to appear in court for the continuation of his trial about whether he will be arrested. Are you seeing the current administration as being unfriendly, not just unfriendly, but stifling the opposition?
In fact, what has been happening is political persecution. What has been happening is
parties in Nigeria, are they moving like ready to phase out the APC come 2027, including the Labour Party that you belong to?
Well, you see, the unfortunate thing in Nigeria is that 85 to 90% of those that are in the opposition today were themselves yesterday, and they were part of the problem that is trying to consume them. That is why the opposition, the effect of the opposition is not as such. Because when people look at other people in the opposition, they say, not them. You can't be a solution. The problem, you were part of those who created. So Nigeria sometimes gets frustrated and don't see the difference between the opposition in terms of the personalities involved. Except, of course, for few people like Peter Obi and Sowore, like you mentioned, that are consistent over the years. So I see that as a defect, and it's a serious problem. That is why I must call on the younger generation to wake up. These people, I think their time is over. We need to come in with fresh ideas. We need to come in with a new method of solving old problems. If we continue with this old method, it's not going to take us to the sincerely. I'm worried.
When it's understandable that you're worried, but after you're done being worried, what are you doing? That's why I mentioned action is as against certain sentiments or certain feelings. A lot of these young Nigerian people that you mentioned will say, oh, they love Omoyele Sowore for his book. Had his bail revoked. He is on the protest every other day. Yesterday, the AAC claimed that the federal government tried to assassinate him because they fired tear gas right in his face when he was over the tax issue. He was out protesting. When he believes that injustice is being done to Nigerians, he's out there protesting. It was only once for, I believe it was the laws that were made by the National Assembly that had to do with the conduct of elections that we now saw some prominent opposition figures like Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, Rotimi Amechi and others. You don't see them protesting for things like the tax laws. You don't see them protesting about, insecurity. Once they give statements on social media, that is that. So how do you want Nigerians to really believe in these people? And how kind of crop of opposition that we have, if they are not moving like they actually care about the average Nigerian, but they just care about their votes?
It's the same thing that I just lamented about. I am agreeing with you that the opposition is not living up to expectation. Only a few is doing the right thing, and he is duplicating himself in many young Nigerians, and I want to see these Nigerians coming out to join him because it is our time. Their time is over. I attributed that to the fact that in the first place they were part of the way.
All right.
And Nigerians find it difficult to have confidence in them.
All right. Let's go back to the Labour Party. Weeks and a few days ago, specifically on the 31st of May, the Labour Party announced its presidential candidate, and his name is Chibuzo Okereke. Of course, the Labour Party Lady Usman adopted Chibuzo Okereke as its presidential candidate for the 2027 presidential election. After that was announced, a lot of Nigerians had the question, who is this person? What elected before? I mean, we don't know this person. Why should we believe him? Why should we even look at him? His face doesn't even look familiar to a lot of Nigerians. He's a far cry from the presidential candidate of the Labour Party based on recognition, based on the name. So what is the seriousness of the Labour Party in going into 2027 in adopting a candidate that a lot of people don't know? And again, what about his run?
You see, that's part of the somewhere. So we should give him the opportunity, then we will know what he's made about.
So as much as that is understanding, as much as, you know, quite a number of people will agree with you on that, you will also agree with me that Nigerian politics is quite peculiar. The people want to see somebody that they can resonate with, right? They want to see somebody that they can actually put their trust in. And again, this person that you have presented is a Southeast where he comes from. How many people know him? So is it just about presenting a presidential candidate, or actually working for this person to win, or just posturing to say, oh, 2027 elections? Because as at this time, yes, he may have good ideas, fresh ideas. He's a young man. That is what a number of people want. But how many people? You still have to look at people who know him within certain voting blocks and regions. In Kaduna State, will people vote for the Labour Party presidential candidate whose name is Chibuzo Okereke?
Well, it is our duty as a party to sell our candidates and to make him known. Before Peter Obi, presidential candidate to Atiku Abubakar, he was not known nationwide, but that brought him to limelight. Everything. So we'll consider these an opportunity to start selling him. And as he goes around Nigeria, people will get to know the content and what he is made up of. So there's always a beginning, and that is our duty. And I assure you, we are going to do that in the north, we are going to do that in the south. Country, we will do our best to make sure that we sell our product.
That's understandable. You want to sell your products. What is your product? Blocks. Again, I ask you, you are a member of the Labour Party in Kaduna State. Will your Kaduna people vote for a Chibuzo Okereke as against Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, as against Atiku Abubakar, as against you too?
Certainly. You know, in this election, you have forgotten to understand that presidential candidates, you also have senatorial candidates, you have House of Reps candidates, you have House of Assembly. And if you work as a team, a vote for one is a vote for all. So certainly you're going to see a lot of surprises. States too have the mandate to do their best. So it is too to think that our product will not be patronized. It depends on how we package him, it depends on how we sell him to the people. And that we're going to do to the best of our ability.
All right. So what is your plan on packaging this your product to make it palatable, to actually make it, you know, to encourage the people to buy into what your product has to offer, based on, you know, the name that he people do not exactly recognize? Because we have to look at the peculiarities of Nigerians when they are voting. We have to look at the peculiarities of Nigerian politics. If you put a Bola Tinubu and you put a Chibuzo Okereke, who will the people pick? Even the people who feel that they are not happy about the policies or the way the current administration is going about leading this country, will they want to pick a Chibuzo Okereke whom they do not know if he has held any elective position, no matter how wonderful or how power-packed his manifesto is.
Who would have thought that a Peter Obi in 2023 will pull over 6 million votes? It was the same thing. He was underrated. But when the campaign began and he started going around, in fact, people thought even in the north he would not pull up to 5% vote, because they said it's just about 5 people in the room. So the campaign will have to start for everybody to know the quality of each candidate. And that will speak for itself. And I assure you that many Nigerians now are tired of voting on the basis of religion or ethnicity, current problems that is facing Nigeria. And I assure you that in this young man who has acquired his PhD, I think you can't, by every standard, you can't underrate a PhD holder as though not qualified to face and address the challenges of Nigeria as it is. No matter,
you have a Southeasterner as your presidential candidate ahead of 2027. Are we to expect that you would have maybe a Northerner as his running mate? And what informed the decision of having a Southerner on the ballot as presidential candidate, and not just a Southerner but a Southeasterner?
I think we were second after PDP to zone the office of the president to the south, and that is because we believe in zoning as a unifying
in the people that they can elect to replace the people who are leaving the government right now, the people who you believe are leaving, right? So that is why we keep talking about whatever it is that the Labour Party has to offer different from whatever it was they did in 2023. Let's talk about the Labour Party primaries. All the primaries held on one day. We've not really heard so much from other parties. We're hearing reports of malfeasance, of rigging, of bribery. It's a whole lot of conversations. What made the Labour Party primaries very different, that we didn't hear such?
Yes, because of the caliber and the quality of leadership that we have today, in person of Senator Dr. Ninadi Usman. You see, being the first woman to lead a political party in Nigeria, she is bent on setting a standard that will truly distinguish her. And she has made that very clear to all of us that are around her. And that is why the primaries was rancor-free and successful in areas where consensus is doable. We took that as a priority to see that aspirants settle within themselves to present consensus candidates. It's only areas where it looks impossible that we decided to go into direct primaries. So that was why everything was seamless. Sincerely, in most states, it was a consensus candidate that emerged. And I cannot tell you of any state or constituency after our primaries that there is an appeal or a disagreement that is ongoing. Everything ended well. That was why we became the first political party to issue certificate of return to all our elected candidates in Nigeria.
Okay. We're costing home. We're rounding up the conversation, Elder Yusuf. Thank you so much for joining us. What should Nigerians expect from the Labour Party That's different from 2023. I mean, some people have switched their allegiance, some switched to the ADC, some switched to the NDC. You have a number of members of the Labour Party who actually moved to the ADC. Some have moved from the ADC to the NDC, some have moved from the Labour Party to the NDC. After losing quite this number of people, how are you expecting to have a great outing come 2027?
As we lose people, we are gaining people. In the last voters register, we have about 93 million registered voters. And I am sure that in this register, you will see over 100. And most of the new people that are coming in, if INEC would give breakdown statistics, you realize that it will be from Labour Party. As people are moving out, we're bringing in and recruiting more people and enlightening them on how to do party politics. So sincerely, we are going to come up with fresh names, new faces, but qualitative people. In fact, in the consensus that we've had, capacity was seriously considered, so that what we'll be presenting to the people will be qualitative and sellable. So I assure you that's the difference. And then our welfareism, that is the mantra of the Labour Party, is also there as a permanent system, that we now have an institute that will create the orientation in every Labour Party member that our target is the welfare of the people. And I mean generality of the people, not just few.
All right, then. Before you go, talk to us about your own ambition for the Kaduna Central Senatorial seat. Did you get the ticket? What's your campaign be like? What's your acceptance amongst your people right there in Kaduna, and the acceptance of the Labour Party? I mean, is it top of mind for the people right there in Kaduna State?
You see, my ambition to venture into the Kaduna Senatorial District race is born out of concern for the state of affairs, both here in Kaduna Central and also in the Senate. If I will start with the Senate, I've seen the Senate as an arm of government that is number one, but all of a sudden it has become an appendage of the executive. That ought not to be so. I ought to belong to a Senate that will stand to scrutinize and to serve as check and balances for the executive for effective democracy. Now, coming back to my constituency, Kaduna Central, made up of Birinongwari, Jiwa, Igabi, Kaduna North, Kaduna South, Chukun, and Kajuru. We have a total of 81 wards and 2,982 polling units. These are the areas that are covered, and we have security challenges, and we have low quality of education, and we have suffered from religious crisis. And so I'm coming out to profile solutions to these complex challenges, to bring the people together and to see how we can use the local knowledge to fight insecurity. Imagine when America, a superpower, attacked Vietnam. Vietnam do not have what America has. They use local knowledge to fight back. So I intend to come up and champion a community-driven security architecture to ensure that we achieve this, because if you ask every citizen of Kaduna Central, insecurity will be the first on their mind. And I don't intend to be a senator that will stay in Abuja. I intend to be a senator that will stay with the people, because after all, that is where I am coming from. Other candidates are already the big names that you are talking about, because I'm going to competing alongside Comrade Shehu Sani, who has been a senator before, and then also the incumbent. But I pledge to be different. I will be a senator that is always with the people of the constituency, keeping in touch, having quarterly town hall meeting in every local government to submit my performance report so that I will get input from the people. I will live a modest lifestyle and channel most of my allowances into constituency projects, as to see that the people become better than I met them.
You
Thank
talk about using local knowledge to solve insecurity. What kind of local knowledge, what kind of different solution do you want to prefer that the federal government does not have, or that the Kaduna state government or governor's office does not, have? We've had governors telling us over and over again that they do not have the authority to give the security agents or agencies in their states marching orders on what to do when it as regards insecurity. So, I mean, how can you, as a senator, now say you want to solve the problem of insecurity?
I told you that one of the things that young men are bringing is new ideas. You can't continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. We know so well that government will not allow the people to carry arms to defend themselves. But everything around the people is a weapon. You have to look inward. That was why I gave you example with Vietnam. It's simple traps, ordinary traps, local traps for catching animals that they use to fight back a superpower like America. And these things are in the bush. They are in our bush. They are not things that I can open now to say because the world is hearing. But in my locality, I assure you that what we will use to fight insecurity, we will not do it on guns and bombs. We will use the local things in the bush to help fight insecurity.
People with sophisticated weapons.
Well, okay, how can you explain that a wild animal like a lion is being trapped by man in a cage without any weapon? People, it's when you see human beings that you shoot. But when you
Elder, we are dealing with people who live in the forest, right? They understand, they know these terrains. Can the locals really go that far as these people go in order to set traps for them? Will they not have their own way of surmounting this if they understand those terrains because they have lived there? We're talking about people with sophisticated weapons, and we want to catch them with traps.
If you have sophisticated weapons and you don't see anybody to shoot, and you are trapped even in a bush, who will you kill? You have to understand these things, that they move, though they have sophisticated weapons, but they move from where they are to come and pick people in town. Now, in between, it's a bush that also the local people are familiar with. So all you need to do is set the trap and leave the place. I do not want to start telling you the type of traps.
All right.
But there are different types of traps that you can set locally and get them alive with their weapons.
All right. All right. Elder Yusuf, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on the New Nigeria Debate this afternoon. I appreciate you for your time, for your presence, for your analysis, and of course, for your ideas. We wish you all the best as you compete for the Central on this seat in Kaduna State, and we hope that when campaigns are in full swing, elections have come and gone, we'll still be able to, get through to you and have a few conversations. Thank you very much for joining today.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Enjoy the rest of your day, sir. All right, you have been listening to New Nigeria Debate right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's 17 minutes before PM. You heard the last thing he said, setting traps in the forest, in the bush for these terrorists. That is local knowledge to solve insurgency, to solve insecurity. Is that something that you agree with? I mean, he's saying hunters and people who understand the bushy terrains can go in there and set traps for these people, set the kind of traps that count animals. So before they move out from the bush to go into the villages to abduct people and take them back into the bush, they will step onto the traps and bleed out and die. Well, I may not understand the reasoning behind that, but I want to know if you, as a Nigerian, if you understand this assertion and if it is something that you agree with. So the phone lines are open. Call me up 080 929933 6929933. You can send a message on WhatsApp to 0817 175 6338. 0817-175-6338. It might be funny to some when we say let's use traps to catch these people, these insurgents, these people who perpetrate insecurity in our lands. I know if this is something you agree with. The phone lines are open immediately. We have just about 16 minutes before we have to go, so call me up. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Chibuzo. I'm calling from Jake.
Welcome, Chibuzo. It's been a while.
I'm good, sir. I'm good, man. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
I agree with the man for the insecurity matter. It spoke.
Okay.
I say that he said a trap for terrorists made them. Do you know the time where they used to wake up and commit the crime? The funny enough, say government know everything about this people. If they don't know anything about this people, the name of people sponsor this people, they give them since how many years now. They sit down on top and they don't want to do anything after that. That's why I thought the government knows everything about this thing. If they want this thing end today, they will join. They don't say, if you hear our left and say that if insecurity lasts 24 hours, government hands beyond the thing. And again, see how this insecurity continue going on in this country. I be like say normal business where they go, and if you government they know they do anything about them. Joy be like say normal business daily. The business one know for this country where they on and insecurity.
Thank you, Chibuzo, for your call. Thank you very much. 0803-692-9933, 0803-692-9933. Hello.
Sure, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Raf. I'm calling from Satellite Town.
Welcome, Raf. Thank you for calling.
The only thing can neutralize bandits is army fighting with weapon.
Okay. Not traps.
What is the trap? What grass cutter? When a trap catches an animal doesn't know how to run a trap catches a woman, no matter how the trap is. Another person come and see the person cut it off. What is the trap? What kind of that will not agree with you on that. Please. We have other things to fight, not even.
Thank you very much. That's not my idea though. Is the idea of
that
the contestant from Kaduna State. Thank you for your call. 0803-692-133. I want you to also understand that for him to have this kind of ideas, he knows how insecurity has been a problem for him and his people right there in Kaduna. And when you feel that the government is not going to help, you try to help yourself in whatever way that you can. But I like what you said, Ralph, about if trap catches an animal, it doesn't know how to remove it, but for a human being, it knows how to remove it. And what if the trap now catches the wrong people? Now catch farmers that are going to the farm on their own, or it now even give these insurgents more ideas. They say, we can actually set trap and catch people, or when they enter inside it, we'll come there and carry them. Please turn off your radio set. Good afternoon. Hello. Turn off your radio set.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Elijah Jonah Eke from Mushin.
Welcome, Elijah Jonah.
What I want to say is this: we don't have to underrate the
idea.
The man that want to contest. Yes, he has his own idea, as he want to use to tackle the insecurity in his own local government. Yes, we may say the bandits use weapons and other things. Make we take example of what happened in Ondo State. Those people cannot be able to fight those bandits, but they use their local way. They know what they apply in the bush, and the band they will attack. So I give him kudos.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for your call. Good afternoon to you. What's your name and location, please? Turn off your radio set.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Dennis. I'm calling from Ijebu.
Welcome, Mr. Dennis.
My
Go
own
ahead.
is that any party that is coming up talking about this insecurity, they must know that when insecurity, the main insurgents we are having today now is not only about those that are in the bush. There are so many prominent politicians that are sponsoring this banditry, insecurity in Nigeria. If you want to fight insecurity, you must start with them. In this regime now, in this APC government, we have many of them in the government, which our president cannot them. So the insecurity will continue going on. So any party that is coming up, like Labour Party, as the man said, you can't use that tactics to defeat insecurity in Nigeria. If you want to defeat insecurity in Nigeria, first of all, you must fight those that are sponsoring them, start from those that are giving them ammunition, like guns, bullets, feeding them, giving them accommodation, because even the vehicle they are using and the motorcycle they are using, they fuel it. So how are they getting fuel? How are they getting food? Where stay? Does it mean that government cannot locate where they are? So if you want to fight them, you know that those that are sponsoring them are billionaires, that are politicians. So how are you going to do with them? They should think about that, and not those that are in the bush, because those that are in the bush are not the problem. The problem is those that are sponsoring them. Please, they should think about that and talk about that and plan how to defeat those that are sponsoring them, whether in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, because we have heard so many news, so many stories about those that are in government that are sponsoring them, but nobody cares to mention them or bring to the book. That's my own opinion.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for your call. I appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon to you. What's your name and location, please?
God bless you. My name is Moses KK from me.
Welcome, Moses AK. Go ahead, please.
God bless you. Unlike according to the man that said he's going to set trap for them. What I understand by trap is that you don't want to talk that is on the air. The trap is there is that he is going to set trap for those that are sponsoring them. So it's not what he want to say right on air, because whatever I say on air now, another position go know say this is what you want to do, and they from there block you. That is what you want me understand about trap. So it's not everything that something we say it on addict. We use an addict to say it. So that is what me I understand about what the word trap. So I get to understand that it's not everything we talk on air.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I'm very grateful for picking my call.
Thank you. Good to hear from you. 9 minutes before 3 p.m. Give me a call. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Send your messages on WhatsApp to 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338. Hello, what's your name and location, please? Hello, can you hear me? Good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon.
To you. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Ephraim, calling from Sowore.
Welcome, Ephraim. Good to have you here.
Yeah, well done. Love tire for the place where say they go set trap.
Wait till they make you laugh now.
And they say whether that rope trap or whether the Arab will use for it. But the fact remains that the man means that there are many ways upon which they can trap the people. That's what I know it. On the area of of the Boko Haram. Nigeria have not been able to provide a solution to it. The only way they stop that and 3R that the issue of of bandits will stop in Nigeria.
Oh, the rehabilitation?
Yes. If you don't, that's the radicalization, reactivation, and all these things. If they stop it, Boko Haram will stop. And if they stop funding Boko, they will not be able to have something to do with it. So that is my own take. And another thing is for people to get their voters card, so that because this government does not vote for any people, what we'll do now is just to make sure that they are voted out. And for the LP man that has just spoken, I would rather advise that it is time for them to join hands with other parties so that they will form a coalition, so that this ruling party will be removed from the office. That is the only solution. And not to split votes or continue to bring somebody who may not be able to muzzle power with these people. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much for you. All right, we'll take one more call and then we'll take your messages and then we call it a day. 6 minutes before 3 p.m. Hello.
Hello, Shoma. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name, please?
This is Afunwa. I'm calling from Edimu.
Afunwa, good to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm cool. There's sun today. You see, Shoma, people don't know what you are doing for this section. This is security where they happen for this. One outer man tell me what yesterday. Tear through my eye. We dey here with the sun. We don't know what in the happen. This boy tell me what. I just they say so this can't they happen. The same time when they hear for radio, when they hear for television, see they hear for net. Now quarter of it. Many people dying every day. People they are losing every day. He's telling me this mod now. You know get family again. Wrong. They was telling me because he traveled. Please, just surprised they used to that here. Yeah, my brother, and if he go not again. So this government, let them forget about this politics matter or this. Made even like this only
true when calls are choke. PVCs. It's very important to get your PVC and be ready to vote come 2027. Preach the gospel of the PVC. Preach the gospel of a new Nigeria to preach the gospel of the PVC. Preach the gospel of a new Nigeria to the people around you. Please, it's very important. The fight for the soul of Nigeria, it concerns me, it concerns you. So please do not think that you're not involved. We are all and in New Nigeria is very, very possible. Don't let anybody tell you that it is impossible. These things can happen and it can happen in our lifetime. So do the best you can to make Nigeria better in your own little world. And I'll see you again same time, same station on Thursday for another edition of the New Nigeria Debate. My name is Choma Innocent. Stay tuned for House Time with MC Chooks and Dr. Walkie comes up shortly. Enjoy the rest of your day and bye for now.
Nigeria is at a crossroads. Issues are endemically national. The questions are indeed very tough. The leaders are asked to speak.
I don't read social media anymore. They have hell out of me. If I read it, I get that blood pressure.
From the economy to security, governance, and the future of our democracy. This is the platform where your fellow candidates meet to indeed debate national issues openly, honestly, and responsibly.
You know, when age is
you can fall. Most of these leaders will not tell on their age. I know that anybody can fall, but the age is still telling on this date. He's old, and his head is telling him, age is telling on him. Any little thing he can fall.
The idea is to discuss the future of Nigeria's political currency, the mirage of challenges, the new policy implementation, and how it can unite, or rather possibly heal the porosities that have been created by terrible leadership across Nigeria's political history. No slogans, no bias, no empty promises, just facts, debate, accountability as Nigeria's future begins. The resonation of truth, the resonation of facts, the transparency and innocuous statements being made. Youth being immersed in our political circle, this platform intends to reverberate the choices of the Nigerian people. It is indeed a new Nigerian debate of leadership, conversations that shape tomorrow. Join us right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM as Nigerians prepare another political dispensation of 2027.
Please note, the views and opinions expressed on this program solely those of the individual contributors and do not necessarily represent the official views of the Voice of the People 90.3